Hi, and welcome back to the Stein Hospice Menu from Our Kitchen, where today's focus is on energy. We're going to be talking about how we use energy healing at Stein Hospice, and today's menu item is energy bites. Before we dive into the cooking section of this video, let's head over to Gretchen and learn a little more about energy healing and how we use that at Stein Hospice.
Hi, it's Gretchen again from Stein Hospice. I run the Comfort Care Services, and I'm really excited today to talk to you about one of my favorite services we offer, which is Reiki. And Reiki is a form of energy therapy, and it originated in Japan by Dr. Sui centuries ago. And he was actually a monk in Japan, and actually observed that when his foot got injured and he just simply put his hand over his foot, the pain seemed to disappear from that. So he spent many months in study and preparation to develop Reiki, which means Rei in Japan means universal and Ki means light. So it's different light. Everything is energy in our body. Everything living has an energy field. You all know those people that can come just into your area and they just suck all your energy away. So there definitely is energy exchange between people. So this is a beautiful kind of therapy that you can actually do over a patient's body without even touching them. And it's really allowing God's energy, the universal energy and light to enter your hand and touch the person that you're working on. So some of the benefits of Reiki that we have noticed is a drastic reduction in pain, actually. I don't know if it's the human soul-to-soul connection, the touch, but it's definitely extremely relaxing. You can observe someone's breathing, and just by simply laying your hands over their heart, over their head, there's real specific hand positions, someone's breathing will just become relaxed. Many times people say it's the most peaceful they've been in a long time. So at Stein Hospice, we use Reiki in all aspects of our program. We have many volunteers that are trained in Reiki, and they use Reiki in patients' homes. We have several volunteers that come up to our inpatient unit and use Reiki. And it's so beneficial to our patients. We also offer Reiki training to members of the community, and there are 3 different levels of Reiki certification. Level 1, Level 2, and Reiki 3, and then the person becomes a Reiki master. So if any of you are interested in further information, don't hesitate to call Stein Hospice. My name is Gretchen. I'm with the Comfort Care team. And our number is 1-800-625-5269. Thank you.
Thanks, Gretchen. Since Reiki is a Japanese form of alternative medicine that's called energy healing, we wanted to focus on an energy recipe today. And who doesn't need that extra boost of energy? I know I do. I have been wanting to make some form of energy balls for quite some time, and I figured this was the perfect opportunity. So I will be honest and say that I have never made these before, so we will be learning together today. I picked a very easy recipe, but this recipe we're going to use today is called a base. And then there are some add-on recipes to it, and I will share all these online that you can add other things into it and make it a little more complex. So we're just going to make the base today, and I will share those other alternative recipes with you today. So these are no-bake energy bites. So you're going to need a few things. One, you're going to need some medjool dates. I have never worked with these before, but I'm really excited to try them. I've noticed a lot of health social media gurus, so to say, have been really focusing on using these in recipes, and so I'm very excited to try them out. You're also going to need 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of maple syrup and 1.5 cups of rolled oats. Now I have them separated here because you're going to use a cup first, you're going to divide this out. So we're first going to use a cup, and then we're going to use a half a cup, and I'll get into that a little later. And then with your dates, and I've already done this part, so you need 2 cups of dates, and they have to be pitted. How do you pit a date, right? So they look like this, and it's very easy to pit them. All you need is a straw, and you just take the straw and work your way through the center of that date, and the pit pops out in the straw. And that's all you need to do. So then you have a nice hole down the center of your date and no more pits. So that is how you pit a date. We learned something new together today. So you need 2 cups, which is about 20 of the 20 dates, and you want to put them in a bowl and boil some water, and then you add the boiling water to the dates and let that sit for 10 minutes. So I've already done it. So I have my 2 cups or 20 dates in a bowl that have sat for 10 minutes in boiling water. Now we are going to take, not only is this a new recipe to me, but this is also going to be the first time I've used this blender. I got it for Christmas and I haven't used it yet. So you're going to take the dates out and shake as much water off as possible. So I have a pair of tongs here, and I'm just going to take them out, shake them off a bit, and toss them in the food processor. I was honestly kind of intimidated to make energy bites because it just seemed a little overwhelming, and like there was a lot of steps and a lot going on, a lot of new ingredients. So that's why I really like that I found this easy recipe, because it's really 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients. You can't beat that. Let's see if I can start taking a few out of here. The water is still steaming, which is another reason why I'm using the tongs. And I can tell that the dates have changed texture a little bit by sitting in here. And they have a more distinct smell. Maybe that's pulling the flavor out, I'm guessing. I don't really know. Okay, now we're going to add our cocoa powder, which was 3 tablespoons. Just pour that right in. I accidentally got some of the water on me, so it was sticking. Our 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. And 1 cup of rolled oats. We're going to leave that half cup to the side for now. So we're just putting 1 cup of rolled oats. Now it does say to take 2 tablespoons of this water that you had the dates in and toss that in the food processor also. So we'll do that. Now the recipe also says that after you blend this, if it's not the right texture or the right consistency, then you just add the water in 1 tablespoon at a time until you get the right consistency. So we're going to pop this lid back on. I'm going to blend on low. Let's go. Let's change it to high. Okay, already I can tell that I need more water. So I'm going to add 2 more tablespoons of this water in here. We'll start with 1. I'll follow the instructions. It does say to scrape the sides. So you'll need a spatula. Got my spatula. And then I'm just going to scrape it down in here a little more, mix it up. Remember, you're making these into energy bites, so you don't want it to be too liquefied. Let's try this again. Okay, I'm going to work with this, and I'll be back. Okay, So through trial and error, I have figured out that it is a step-by-step process. So you definitely need to pulse a few times or mix on medium, and then take the spatula in and scrape the sides and mix it back into the center so that it's hitting the blades. You also want to make sure that you get down underneath those blades because that's where the dates are staying whole and not getting processed. I have also added a total of 6 tablespoons of the water that the dates were sitting in at this point. I have it pretty much done. I'm just going to mix one more time. And one last mix with the spatula. This has really helped using the spatula. Let me go ahead and take this off and move a little closer. So I'm literally just taking the spatula and pulling the mix from the sides into the center. That has really helped the consistency. So we end up with a nice texture there. Now we need to put this whole thing in the refrigerator for 10 minutes, and then I'll be back. Welcome back. So I let my mix, concoction, whatever you want to call it, sit in the refrigerator for 10 minutes. And I went ahead and took it out. And I knew that I was going to be eating these relatively quickly, sharing them with my family. So I wanted to put them in a container that I could store in the refrigerator and not take up a lot of space. So I picked my container here. You can use Tupperware, whatever you prefer. And I just started rolling them into balls and layering. And then in between layers, I used wax paper so they wouldn't stick together. So really simple. I'll just roll one here to show you. I used a 1 tablespoon measuring spoon to scoop so that they were all the same size, and just rolled them into a ball and set them in. You can see here they're still a little gooey. If you wanted to leave the entire mix in the refrigerator for a little longer, I don't think that would hurt, and then they might be a little less sticky when you roll them. So that's something to consider, but they were also fine, especially for making them with kids. Kids like to get a little messy. But a couple things I wanted to note before I wrap up here. One, this base is a nut-free, seed-free, coconut-free base. So if you have any allergies in the family, this is a really good recipe to start with. And then some of the add-ons do add some of those, so you'll just have to watch. But like seeds and coconut and things like that. So it's up to you if you want to do the base or you want to try one of the new recipes that I include in the link. The second thing I wanted to note is this did make 25 energy bites. So if you feel like you're going to eat those, you can put them in a container like I did. Or if you were interested in freezing them, I did research that a little bit. And I did discover that you can freeze them, but how you should do it is you should lay them flat on a cookie sheet, roll your balls, put them on a cookie sheet flat, put the entire cookie sheet into the freezer for 1 to 2 hours, and let them harden. Then take them out, put them in your container, how you want to store them, and then put them back in the freezer. And so the nice thing about that is you can get them out one at a time. They do take 15 to 30 minutes to thaw, according to what I read. So kind of plan accordingly. But that way you don't have to get the whole batch out. You can get 1 or 2 if you want a snack. Or if you're having people over and you want to share them, you can get the whole batch out. The other nice thing is if you want to take one day and make a few different varieties of recipes and just have them on hand for when you need them, then you can have an assortment of flavors throughout the week, throughout the month, and not just have them all be the same. So that's another option too. So moment of truth, I'm going to try that last one that I made. Very good. I actually was a little worried because I'm not a big fan of dates, but these are really good. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.